Hey guys, what is going on? It is Anthony here, back again with another video, and today we're going to be checking out the 90s Reissue dual rectifier. Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in. As always, if you are new to this channel, I welcome you so kindly and thank you so much for your time. As always, be sure to subscribe if you are new, hit that notification bell, leave a comment. I'm always down to hear your guys' suggestions on what you would like for me to bring to the channel. As always, if you guys don't want to hear me talk for the first half of this video, I will put a timestamp here below so you could skip to the demo clips and then skip to the pros and cons afterwards. So without further ado, we're going to now be reviewing this Mesa Boogie 90s Reissue. So if you guys are familiar with the Mesa Boogie dual rectifiers, you know that it needs no introduction. But as for the specs, we got, two channels. We have a red and an orange channel. The orange can go from, your typical rectifier vintage orange channel, or it can go orange to modern. And then you could also go from a clean channel on that one. And then you got your red channel down below here that can go from red to vintage or, red to orange, because there's also a thing called channel cloning on this amplifier as well. We also have 100 watts. We have bold and spongy, like you would typically expect from a rectifier. And we have the silicone diode as well as vacuum tubes toggle switch thing on the back as well. We have a series effects loop. This is really the main culprit of this amp in terms of specs. 6x6 tubes. Again, if you guys are familiar with the dual rectifier, you kind of know what to expect when it comes to that, but it also comes with a foot switch as well. So all that being said, I'm just now gonna talk about my first impressions with this amp, since most of you guys are probably already familiar with the dual rectifier, and I just want to get into the nitty-gritty of what I think of this amp, and then play a little bit, play some more later on in the video, and then give you guys the pros and cons, my overall final thoughts as always. So what are my first impressions when it comes to the 90s Reissue? Honestly, I absolutely think it's a fantastic amp. In general, I really have no complaints in terms of the overall response, feel, and just the crushing tone that this amp has and delivers. It is one of the tightest rectifiers I've ever played in my life, if not the tightest in most modern sounding, while also paying homage to the amazing raw classicness, if you even want to say, of what makes the two channels so special and just magical. I am so glad that Mesa reissued this, and I'll get into why later. But overall, I love the orange channel. I love the red channel. I think the channel cloning feature is really cool. I like that it has, the typical, red to vintage, orange to modern type of thing going on. It's just very simple amp, very plug and play friendly, takes pedals very, very well. I love the effects loop on it, and it's just, I'm really out of words. It really just sounds phenomenal. I guess you guys will have to hear it for yourself. But as always though, I do want to give a huge shout out, actually, I'm actually wearing their shirt, to Wildwood Guitars for actually selling this amplifier to me. They were super cool. They actually included this t-shirt in the deal for selling this amp to me. So if you guys would, again, this is not sponsored by them, but if you guys would like to buy your next amp, definitely check out Wildwood Guitars. They did not pay me to say this or anything. I bought this amp brand new with my own money, and they were just kind enough to send me this shirt. They treated me like family. It was my very first purchase from them, and they treated me amazingly. So if you are looking for great customer service from like a mom and pop shop that's still got a really good niche, well-known following online, then definitely check out Wildwood Guitars. But other than that, we're gonna plug this thing in. I'm going through a 2 notes load box, and then I will also be going through the clean, the orange, and the red, and I'll even try to test it out with effects as well in the effects loop to show you guys how cool the effects loop does sound. So other than that, I'm gonna stop talking. We're gonna hear how this thing sounds, and I can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments, and I will talk about the pros and cons as always. Wow. I don't know about you guys, but from someone that used to have a non-multi-watt 2008 3-channel Mesa rectifier, this thing completely wipes the floor. It demolishes that old 3-channel, hands down. It's not even a contest. As somebody that did own that, it's like I immediately noticed the difference, not just in tone and sound, but even in feel and response. Like the other one, unboosted, just like sounded like it had a blanket over it, even with a boost, I would even say. Whereas with this one, it's nice and open, but it's still got that nice rawness on the red and the orange channel, but it's still got that modern tightness that I'm looking for. And it still just pays the tribute to what makes the rectifiers, again, so special. I even have experience with a Rev G triple rectifier that my buddy's got. That's a 2-channel. And honestly, I think I even prefer it to that. This amplifier is legit, my friends. So I'm actually going to start here with the pros. So the first pro, I mean, we can kind of get out of the way, is it sounds amazing. Like, I don't feel like anything on this amp, in my opinion, was truly wasted for what you would expect from a rectifier. I mean, the gain channels from the orange and the red really sound phenomenal. They take a pedal really, really well. It's super articulate, but it's still got like the necessary frequencies that you would want to make it like an authentic rectifier. Like if you're a metal guy or a hard rock guy and you want the vibe of an old rectifier, but with like modern touches that make it more aggressive, then I say this is definitely the one, especially if you want to spend like 7K or almost 10K on like an old Rev E or Rev F or whatever they go for these days, right? Prices are just crazy these days. So 3,500 compared to that, I don't think is too bad, but we'll get into that later. But as for the other pros, I'd even say the clean channel for being on the 2-channel, I'd say the clean channel is actually pretty decent. I know they made improvements with that as well as the effects loop, which the effects loop is great on this amplifier. Super nice and clear with your effects pedals. But the clean channel actually, especially at lower volumes, actually sounds pretty good. When I roll back on my volume pot and then tweak with my tone knob and I put it in the middle position on my Majesties, it sounds great in my opinion. Like, now are there better amps with better clean channels? Sure. But I mean, for a rectifier, I would say it's better than I was expecting it to be. Now, as for the other pros, I mean, I really like the versatility of the channel cloning. I know some people might be like, oh, it's a wasted feature, and it may not be the main feature that you're gonna go to when you buy this amp. But I do like the added versatility and the flexibility that the channel cloning gives me. I mean, I like that I can have almost 2 identical red channels or 2 identical orange channels. For me, I think that's really nice because if I want, like, say a rhythm tone that's like a red, but then I want a lead tone that's like a red and just sacrifice my clean for live for depending on the band I'm in or the application, then I think that's really, really nice because not everybody needs necessarily a clean channel. But I also like the flexibility of being able to still have my clean channel and then just being on the red channel for both my rhythm and the lead. I like that flexibility. I like that Mesa gives you that flexibility in a 2-channel format. So for me, I say take it as a pro. I really think it sounds amazing. And when you put this thing in bold and silicone diode like you typically would for any rectifier, especially like the 2 channels, this thing just absolutely sounds crushing. I say if you're gonna ever see one of these in a music store, definitely try it out. So now that you guys have heard the pros, what are the cons of this amplifier? Well, the first con that we have to talk about, and you guys know where I'm going with this, and that is the price. $3,500 for a 2-channel 90s reissue rectifier. Is it worth it? I will answer that later on after I get through the rest of the cons. But the second con I do want to also talk about is, although I have said that the clean channel is decent on this amplifier, and it's definitely a better clean channel than the ones that are actually from the 90s that I have tried, I do notice that when I do play at louder volumes that the clean channel does break up more than say like the multi-watts or some of the other 3 channels. But again, other than that, I mean, you don't buy a rectifier for the clean channels. So to me, it's not a big deal. I mean, I can live with that because it's like when I play through a rectifier, I'm either on the distorted orange mode or I'm on the red channel. So at the end of the day, I don't really think that's bad at all. And all in all, I think it's still a decent clean channel. I think it serves its purpose, and I think Mesa Boogie did a fantastic job with the reissue by improving the cleans and improving the effects loop from parallel to series. So huge kudos to them for sure. But as for other cons that I can think of, I will say the one con that is, again, splitting hairs, but depending on the room that you are in, as much as I think the mirror chrome chassis looks absolutely sick, it is sometimes very hard to tell which one is the gain and which one's the presence, because it's like, it's literally black lettering on literally a mirror. And it's one of those things where depending on the room you're in, if you're on a dark stage, it could be very hard to see sometimes. But again, for me, it's very much splitting hairs, because it's like, for me, this is like kind of like a muscle memory thing for me, where once I kind of know where the knobs are, I kind of know where they are and I can go from there. But again, I might feel differently if I was playing on stage with this thing and I had to, you know, move the knobs really quickly. But if you're just in your bedroom or you're in your recording studio, I don't think it's really a big deal at all. But other than those 3 things, I don't really think this amplifier has any major cons, if at all. Yeah, I mean, Mesa Boogie did a great job. Gibson did a great job on this. So other than that, I'm going to now get into the question that I do want to get back to that I promised I would. Is this amplifier worth $3,500? If I'm being completely unbiased and honest, I would give it a hard yes and no. The reason being is because it depends on the person and the type of consumer that is buying this and what you already have. If you're somebody where you're coming from like a 3-channel non-multi-watt from what I had, or you're coming from like, let's say a multi-watt and you want a 2-channel rectifier, then I think this is absolutely worth the upgrade. The difference between the two is absolutely night and day. It's like not even the same amp. Like when I had my old 3-channel, it was pretty much like a flat tire, even with the Fortin 33, to where it was very hard to dial it to really sound articulate and really sound the way and feel the way I wanted it to. But it's like, this is no problem. It's just easy peasy, plug and play, turn your boost pedal on, put the knobs where you like them, and then off you go. I mean, it truly sounds amazing, and it just goes to show you that not all rectifiers are the same. That being said, if you are someone that has a 2-channel already, like a Rev G, a Rev F, Rev E, Rev C, Rev D, etc., it may or may not be worth it. It really just depends. Like if you're somebody that likes the characteristics of the Rev F and the Rev G, but you want some more modern take and you want a better effects loop and you just want an overall tighter sounding rectifier but still have some of those raw characteristics of what makes the 90s one so magical, then yeah, I say the 90s reissue is still worth it. But then again, some people might feel like, well, I already have a Rev G or a Rev F, it's probably not worth it to, you know, upgrade or switch over, if, you know, depending on how you look at it, because I mean, they're all fantastic amplifiers, the Rev G, Rev F, you know, Rev E, the 90s reissue, they're really fantastic. I mean, now, do I think that this is the best rectifier out there? I mean, it's definitely the best rectifier I've ever tried, let alone owned. And I've tried a Rev G triple. I've tried a Recto Verb 50 watt from the 90s. And I've also tried many multi-watts. And I have tried, of course, my old 2008 3-channel that I sold to literally put towards this. And I can tell you that I'm 100% satisfied with my purchase. I feel like, to me, that this was worth the upgrade, and this was worth every penny for everything that I needed to do in the rectifier of my dreams. I'm so happy that Mesa reissued this, and that's why, honestly, I'm giving it a 9.5 out of 10 guitar picks. Even if the clean channel is not as clean as, say, like the multi-watts or, you know, some of the other 3 channels. I really think Mesa did a great job and made it a huge improvement over the original Rev Gs and Rev Fs. And the thing about the effects loop and the channel cloning feature, they really made this thing to where it's not a one-trick pony and you can still get some other great tones out of it. I really, really like it. The orange channel sounds great. The red channel sounds great. The cleans are still very, very usable, and they're still decent, and they still clean up well if you tweak with your volume knob and your tone pot ever so slightly, or maybe a little bit more. It's just find that sweet spot, and I'm telling you, you can make it work for you. But yeah, this amplifier is absolutely a keeper. I mean, for me, this was worth every penny. This amplifier definitely was a lot to justify for me, but it was absolutely worth the upgrade. And I say, if you are thinking about getting a rectifier and you want something that's going to be, you know, the end all be all, I say try one out, see what you think. I personally don't think you're going to be disappointed. This is absolutely one of the best rectifiers out there. And as someone that, you know, is very picky with the amps that he likes to buy, as someone myself that's very picky, I am telling you right now that this amplifier is no joke. It is absolutely legit, and it's super tight to where it even sounds great unboosted. So all in all, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Anthony DeFilio, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.